Today I'm going to show you a really quick method of figuring out the old combination to your combination padlock that doesn't require any skill, math, or really good hearing. Let me show you how it's done. Alright, the first step to doing this is we're going to take the lock and we're going to apply some shackle pressure on the shackle. So like we're pulling on it, but we're going to pull a little bit. But now we're going to start by pulling just a little bit and we're going to spin the dial clockwise. And as we do this, we're going to apply a little bit more shackle pressure every single time we go around. It starts out a lot easier, and then over time you'll see that at one spot it kind of clicks. And you'll see at my spot, it's around here, it kind of snaps. And you can hear that too. So you want to go to that spot and apply a little more shackle pressure and find out exactly where it is that it, go around again, that it kind of snaps. And for me, that's about, well, that's about at, it's between 36 and 37. As we tighten it, we'll see it kind of locks right there. That's the spot that it locks at. So on our piece of paper, we'll write down 37. And if we take that number and we add 5 to it, that is our first number. So that would be 42, which because it stops at 0, or it stops at 39 on here, that means that it's a 2. So our first number is 2. Now what we're going to do is we're going to spin it counterclockwise with a little bit of shackle pressure, around and around, and at a certain point you'll feel it kind of lock up completely. Now we're going to take this position and we're going to do what we just did before, except we're only going to go around once until we reach this spot, and then we're going to undo what we did, and then we're going to do it again until we find the next coordinate, or the next number. So we'll spin it around. Oh, didn't find it that time, so we're going to do it again until it locks up. Then we'll do it again with a little more shackle pressure. Do it a little more shackle pressure. I think I found my spot. So for me, from here all the way around, it seems to lock up around here. And if you figure that out, add a little shackle pressure, you'll feel that it's right about at between 14 and 15. Again, we round up, so we have 15. That's our second number. And now what we're going to do is we're going to reset by just spinning it clockwise a bunch of times. And we're going to start at 0. And we're going to go all the way around, and we're going to take a little bit of shackle pressure, and we're going to see where the spots are that it wiggles in between like this. So in this particular case, sounds kind of silly, but it wiggles in between the number 38 and 39 pretty clearly. And so the middle of the two places that it is pointing is in between the two numbers. And that's not good. We don't want those numbers. So we'll keep going. And we'll find the next spot, undo, release a little shackle pressure, and then tighten up. This particular one, it goes kind of right in between the numbers 34 and 36. So halfway in between, or the center, is right about 35. So 35 is a good number. Do you see how it's kind of in between those two numbers? So we'll write down 35. That's one potential option for the last number. Alright, we'll keep going. We'll release a little bit of shackle pressure and find our next spot. Alright. this particular spot again goes between the number 31 and 32, a little past 32. So the middle of that number would be in between the two, and we want one where the middle of the number is at a tick mark. So we'll keep going. All right, our next one is in between the numbers 29 and 28. Again, we don't see a tick mark. The middle of the two spots that it's bouncing between is not a tick mark, so we'll keep going. So release a little bit of shackle pressure, and then tighten down and see where it lands. This time it lands between, it locks up in between 24 and 26, so the middle number would be 25. So that's one that we want, so our next number is 25. All right, we'll release a little bit, move on to the next one. All right, this one, it's bouncing between 21 and 23 when it locks up. And in the middle between those two is the number 22, right in between. So that's a good number. So we'll write down 22. All right, we'll keep going. Release a little bit of shackle pressure and then tighten up. This one, it goes in between 19 and 18. That's not what we want. We want it to be in between, two numbers that have one in between, so we'll keep going. All right, here's another good number. It goes pretty much in between 14 and 16, and the middle of that would be 15, so we'll write down that middle number again, 15, and then keep going. This one's no good because it goes between 11 and 12. There's no good number in the middle. Keep going. Loosen up, tighten up again. This one, same thing, goes between 8 and 9, but there's no good middle number that sits in the middle. Keep going. This one, not ideal, but it's all right. So we'll say 5 is a good number because it kind of goes between 4 and 6. Keep going, tighten it up. And here's another bad one. It goes between 1 and 2. Doesn't have a good place to sit, so that one's not a good number. And now we're back at 0. So now if we look, we have all of these numbers down here that are potential options. And what will normally happen is all of these numbers will be similar, typically multiples of 5, 35, 25, 15, and 5, except for one number, which is 22 in this case, and that is your number. Meaning that our combination is 2, 15, 22. All right, so let's see. We go 2 and then go around past 2 to 15, and then we go to 22. There it goes. And it opens up just like that. So that's all you have to do. Now you actually know the combination for how to open the lock, so you can write that down and use it yourself. Obviously, please use this on your own lock. Don't use this on somebody else's lock. Also, it would be very difficult to figure this out on somebody else's lock if it's all locked up, because it'd be harder to do the operation where you apply shackle pressure. That's difficult when it's attached to something else. So be legal, only use this on your own locks. One last thing to mention is that certain locks like this one or this one, older locks, are more difficult to do this trick with, because when you apply shackle pressure by pulling up, a lot of the time it's more difficult to find an actual reading because they're more smooth than the newer ones. So this trick might not work as well on newer ones or on older ones, but certainly on these newer ones, these ones work just fine. I've done it on multiple that look just like this.